Welcome to the 10th and final episode on the Libellus de Memoria of William Perkins. On denique Columbus et Fallopius excellenti industria viri nunquam potuerunt, ea diligenter investigando erudere, quae peripatetici oscitantes somniando invenerant, non credendum est Hercule, nedum suspecundum. Remember that in the last episode, Perkins was complaining about the views of the Peripatetics, those followers of Aristotle, who did not understand properly how the memory is distributed throughout the brain. Now he says, on. Now this little conjunction here is actually a disjunctive. It's used for asking questions. It is not a synonym of out, which also means or, and is not used for questions. Or, finally, denique, could it be that Columbus and Fallopius, men who were excellenti industria, men who were endowed with an exceptional diligence, never were able, numquam potuerunt, never were able these things diligently to root out, erudere, by investigating them? Let's pause there for a second. Now, who is Fallopius? Fallopius is this gentleman here, Gabriel Fallopius. He was born in 1523 and died before the age of 40 in 1562. He was a professor of anatomy, anatomiae professor at Padua. He is known for discovering part of the auditory canal and also investigating the reproductive systems of both sexes, and of course the fallopian tube is named after him. So Columbus and Fallopius, men, here is a masculine plural nominative, taken with excellenti industria, both of which are feminine singular and ablative, excellenti modifying industria, excellenti an adjective of the third declension, industria also ablative, and these are ablatives of description, very common construction. Men who were endowed with exceptional diligence, that they never were able, erudere. Here's our third conjugation infinitive, erudere. It means to dig. They were never able to dig out these things, ea, diligenter investigando, by very careful investigation or examination. Things quae. Now notice how the ea, previous in the sentence, sets up the quae which follows. Very common in Latin, ea, quae, those things which the Peripatetics invenerant, had found. The Peripatetics had found them, although yawning, oscitantes, this masculine plural and nominative, although yawning in their sleeping, somniando, this is a gerund, neuter, singular, and ablative. Now, all gerunds are neuter and singular. That's the only form in which they occur, and gerunds are verbal nouns. He says finally, non credendum est Hercule, nedum suspecundum. This is not to be believed, non credendum est. This is a passive periphrastic, as it's called. A passive periphrastic, it takes a gerundive, a form of sum, and it connotes necessity or obligation. This is not to be believed, Hercule, by Hercules. This is an interjection, of course. Indeed, he says, nedum suspecundum. It's not even to be imagined or suspected. In other words, there's no way that Columbus and Fallopius, through their careful observation, missed what the Peripatetics, dreaming and sleeping, had discovered. We hope you have enjoyed this series on William Perkins.